Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. It happens to be that time of day again. We have a special request up front from Lion City Sessions, and so I'm going to let her go first today.
David reminded
Acting
me.
President Leo, fellow Lions and guests, I have a happy
So I am aware.
$100 from Keith Huff. He stopped by the shop on Wednesday to tell me that they were packing up and leaving for Texas on Thursday morning.
Okay.
So he gave me this $100 bill, which is kind of surprising in itself because he's Mr. Debit Card. And he wanted to thank the club for all their support and fun that he's had. They are now down by his mother and his sister down in the Waco area of Texas. So he wanted to make sure I passed along the good thoughts, the good fun, and I texted him today, and they made it there safely. That's from Keith. It may be permanent. He may be moving down there permanently. He packed up all that they needed. They took both their vehicles. And so we're kind of waiting to see. His business will remain open, and he will be flying back and forth to check on that and come and see us as well. Right now, he just wanted to be close to his mom. Evidently, as you know, she has cancer. And she was supposed to have surgery, and they found cancer on her back, so they were not able to do surgery. And so now they're going to wait and see as far as what they're going to do for treatment. So he just felt the need to be closer to his family. So I have a mixed $10. I'm mixed because last week we had a 50th anniversary ad in the Daily News, and nobody caught it. Granted, it was in the sports section, so nobody caught it. And also, the session's funding, of course.
Does that only cost $1 extra?
No, I got 10. Okay. Also, a happy to know that Daryl and Tracy are here with us. Got to spend a lovely weekend with them in Portland at the Forum. Also, mixed for Cheryl and Keith. I'm happy that they're going back, but we're going to miss their fun and help and everything else that they've done for the club.
Well, we had Beauty, and now the Beast, Lion Hal.
Hey, Acting President Leroy, hope it works out for you. The sad dollar for Keith and Cheryl and all the kids leaving. He and I worked together. We commiserated on the phone the other night about all the things that we thought we made a difference in. And we basically spent about half hour complimenting each other, so it's kind of a fun call. Happy dollar for 7 Longview Pioneer Lions and 2 former Pioneer Lions at the USA Canada Forum. So you guys are really still members, right? Yeah, that's right. And then a happy dollar because one of those nights I got to have dinner with Tracy and Daryl.
I'll bet they were thrilled.
Yeah, I think it's time for a rebuttal dollar. For those of you who don't know, the infamous and famous Lion Daryl.
Can you believe I'm already past district governor? Wow. Anyhow, just a couple of happy bucks and Tracy and I for being here. And fellow Lion guest. That's the rag doll. But it's always a pleasure to be in town and to visit our famous old, our alumni club for Lions, and we always have a great time coming back. And I really appreciate all the prayers I get through the last 2.5 years. Now I'm still on the green side of the grass, so it'll get.
Speaking of people we haven't seen in a while, Lion Kid Hook.
What's your badge number?
Look, 2, I think it's 2. Acting King Lion Leroy, I have a happy dollar. I'm just happy to be able to be here and see all these fine lions. And I hope I can get here more often. Thank you.
We hope so too.
All right, now we're going to come up here to Lion Everything Done.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I have several dollars here. One's $10 for Sharon Sisson. Didn't miss her. I saw her just a little over a week ago. She's only a part of herself. We didn't really sad. The second happy dollar, our legacy project. We had our big celebration over at the lake last Tuesday, so that project is finished. That's great. And the third happy dollar has to do with the USA Canada Forum. Haven't been to one. I can strongly recommend that you go. I wrote down some one-word comments about it, all starting with E. Exceptional, exciting, educational. There's been at least 100 different programs there. Exhilarating, and expensive. But a great time, I'd go again. And this is just a happy dollar because it's a great day.
I'd like to introduce your wife.
This is my wife.
The love of your life, right?
That's Lion Dog.
This is exhilarating, right?
Exhilarating dog.
Acting,
Exciting, exhilarating.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, a happy dollar for the USA Canada Forum. That was our first. We had a really great time, and again, I do recommend it also.
Yeah, so it's not expensive, it's a value. It's a value. Lion feet. Just gonna miss light chair. All right, Greg Fur.
President Acting Leroy. Fellow Lions guest, $2. First one is a very sad dollar for the passing of Sharon Sisson. Wonderful, wonderful lady. And the second one is a very happy dollar. I'm glad to see Daryl and Tracy here today, and wish you all the best in your health.
We're gonna come down this side, and we'll come back around that side. I am truly. I just love her name.
Acting President Leroy, wherever you went.
Fellow Lions and guests, I have $2 today. One of them is a sad dollar because I'll be missing all of November, all of December, and part of January because I'm having hip replacement surgery. And the doctor has chosen to take me out for 9 weeks. And it is not relenting on any part of that, even though I told him I'd be start breathing more mad than what I currently am. The second dollar is because I've announced my retirement. As I hear Mark has already told everybody. I'm lucky that that's all I got away with, actually. And that will be February 2nd, and shortly thereafter, in fact, that's why I've missed so many weekend chore duties so far with this current Lions Club. I'll be moving up to the shelter for this, so we'll be happy to transfer memberships, and I apologize.
Yeah, there you go. The Shelf Lions are a great bunch group, but just imagine Lion Mark if you told everybody she was pregnant. Here you go! Mark.
Thank you, Patrick. That's a little hard to follow that one. Happy dollar number one is for the opportunity to know and work with Sharon Sisson. Great line, great person. Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions guests. Anyway, second dollar is for USA Canada Forum. I've been fortunate to attend several of them, but the motivational speakers, the educational panels, the opportunity to visit Daryl and Tracy, and the number of Lions was outstanding.
And the roommate.
In spite of the roommate. Thank you for reminding me that part out. And finally, probably the happiest, for sure, the happiest dollar of this. I wasn't able to talk much about it last Tuesday, but our daughter-in-law had been diagnosed with cervical cancer, so it was a really challenging week last week. But the tests and the meetings went well Tuesday, and her surgery on Friday went well, so we're keeping our thoughts positive as we move forward.
Past President Maryland.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I have $4, so I'm going to try to remember everything I wanted to say. Gave away all my pens, so I couldn't write it down. It's great to see Daryl and Tracy. Sad to hear that Keith is going to be moving away. This one's for Sharon Sisson. And this one's for everything else in my life in the last few days. USA Canada Forum is just an outstanding experience. It's not social necessarily, party time. Sometimes we talk about our parties, but USA Canada Forum is about 12 hours each day with a lot of learning and a lot of socializing.
Very cool. The judges. Mr. Chairman.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I was going to give $3 because it was a, it was a trifecta weekend for me. Navy won, the Huskies won, and Oregon lost. Around my family, boy, that's another glass of wine. I'll tell you. Great day Saturday, but yeah, I'm giving $10 because Sharon's passing keeps everything in context. You know, the wonderful lady. She warmed my day. I mean, she was just so sweet. So to see her pass it just puts everything else in perspective. So, for sure.
Oh, Jim? Oh, sure. Lion Jim to be
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. Oh, no, thank you. I have one happy dollar for missing Lions for 2 weeks in a row. You can all contribute happy dollars of that. We spent in San Juan Island. It was great. Beautiful sunshine while it was pouring on you here. So, but basically, the rest of the money is for Sharon. She was a great lady. And I saw her often when I came because I always stopped at the dessert table and always contributed there. But one of the things, I made a comment about how good the dessert was, and she said, well, do you like rhubarb pie? And I said, oh yeah, I love rhubarb pie. And the next week there was a rhubarb pie for me, and I didn't even have to pay $1. She was a sweetheart. And I know beneath all of that gentleness and loveliness, there was a tough lady. She'd been through hell. And you wouldn't know unless you knew it. Because she wasn't going to go on up. But, usually I apologize for being long-winded, but I'm not going to apologize. There you go. Love that lady.
Past President Olson.
Acting Pretender to the Throne, Leroy. Fellow Lions guests, the first dollar is for Sharon. I didn't know Sharon very well, but when I was having some tests on my back down in Portland, every time I asked for a volunteer for a ride, she stepped forward. I got to know her and what a wonderful person. And it touches the heart of somebody else who's departed. Brad Boswell used to visit Sharon's husband. They had thought. Oh yeah! I've always wondered why people shave their heads. Never knew why. It doesn't seem like it. You got gray and deal. But I discovered why Doug shaves his. I went over to Longview Security and asked for Doug the other day. And they said, just a minute. And they called Doug out, and it was somebody else. And I said, well, that's not the one. And they said, oh, well, we have 4 Dougs. So guess how they tell them apart. By your envelope.
Interim President Leroy, fellow Lions guests.
This is a good news dollar. After I leave here today, I will not be back until November. I'll be around the New England, northeast states for all the month.
Lucky you. You know, the leaves turn the same color as the rust is out here. You know that, right? Lions, Sandy, Cats.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. I too will be gone until November. I will be with fellow Lions Herald.
Sure.
Unless he's going to be adventuring down the Grand Canyon with a party of 4 floating rafts, as I will. So, and $1 for sharing his rescue.
Lion Dave Smith.
Here's $2 for acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, all of you owners. I'm going to do something different. I'm happy about this. I've thought about this. I gave $2 and this song that we try to be quick. I've been torturing myself which way to go with this song. There's a fight actors. And if you want to join in, if you don't want to join in, you'll see that I'm happy. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave.
Happy and you know it. Clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it. You need to stomp your feet. I didn't do this right. Happy and you know it. Stomp your feet. Happy and you know it. Stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it. Your life will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it. Stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it. Say hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it. Shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it. Your life will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and
How long does this go?
life will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Well, we've not done all three.
You're done. Plenty.
Truly, how's the hip after that one, huh? Oh, okay. How about Lionel Pontius first?
Wannabe, congratulations for taking it through the whole meeting. Lions and guests, I really want to say a happy dollar with Mom's funeral, because there were so many yellow jackets there. I was just proud of this group to show up with all the faces and everything, and I really did. Now, coming out of this though, was the fact that Tom used to tell a lot of jokes, and David has taken over some things that are doing similar things. They take a long time to do it. So we're going to come out with a book starting next month of numbers, and we're going to put all these functions in the book with a number. And all David will have to do is stand up and say number 1. Okay, and then we will spend a lot less time on happy dollars. And we won't have to listen to Tom joke about the crabs anymore. Yeah, right. But I'm happy to be here, and $1 for Sharon session. She was just wonderful.
Amen, brother. How about Lion Steve Johnston?
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. Got one real happy dollar to see Daryl and Tracy. And then the other one is a sad one for Sharon. She was always there. She was always more worried about somebody else than herself. Always asking and wanted to know how you were.
That is the truth. I told my oldest son Dylan that she'd passed, and he was like, She was so cool. Lion King.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, $5 for Diane and I for Sharon. She was a great lady.
Thank you. Lion George.
Acting President Leroy, got a sad dollar here for Sharon. I can remember years ago, she brought a rhubarb pie and auctioned it off. And I was bound and determined to get it, and I think I paid $25 for it. But it was worth every penny. Worth every penny. Anyway, happy dollar to see Tracy and Daryl here. Another happy dollar to see Jim here. Come back again. And the last happy dollar is, had a great time down at the Extreme Machines on Saturday.
Yeah, talk about little boys having apples. Anybody here? Why, Kevin, I think you've got something, don't you? Nice to see you again. Who did you bring here? Oh, Lion Ralph! This Lion Ralph was on day one of this club.
Yeah, so one of these dollars is for Ralph, that he could make it today. The other happy bucket that I could make it, started been around a whole lot. My Rotary instant tray where I used to be a member of, where I kind of still am, they meet Tuesdays at noon too, so I kind of trying to do both until I can convert into being a Rotary for the Twin Cities, which meets on Fridays. So anyway, I'm happy I could be here. Yeah. Hoping to see our community.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
You're on your way.
I thought we had a great time talking about Seahawks, didn't we? Well, hi Larry. Flying Larry? Oh, would you like me to hit Rick first? Okay. Flying Rick.
Happy President, Larry, and fellow Lions. It's kind of an honor to be here, actually, with my fellow guest, Larry Peterson. I've got a long history with Larry. He talked me into joining Lions several years ago, and then he talked me into going on the board. And then he talked me into being first vice president. And Larry, we share a commonality is I'm acting president right now because somebody has to be a vice president. And then during the Highlander Festival, if you followed the Lion float, you would have seen this guy running behind it desperately to catch up. And I'd look in the side view mirror and there's Larry be staring at me maniacally. Larry don't slow for nothing. And I'd also like to introduce Wallace Hall and Clarice Hall. They're relatively new members. So it's an honor to be here, and it's kind of nice to see so many Lions. I didn't know this exists. We have 2 meetings and we still not have this many. So good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I guess we have to have an emergency board meeting about making sure that they don't get fined for all sitting together, or should we fine? Which is fine. We'll just take your money. Go ahead.
It's right.
Acting President Leroy.
Do you want him to speed it up? I'll go. You want him to speed it up? Yeah.
I just going to donate a buck. Yeah, actually, you guys should be donating a buck because nobody knows there's a Kelso Lions photo bomb ceremony last Tuesday. I won't tell you who it is.
We know this. Oh, we know this.
You could say.
We got to get to the Osbornes. I got a couple of awards. Leroy's saying wrap it up because apparently Patterson wants to give away 3 awards today. That's going to take 20 minutes. Thank you. Waterby, Leroy, Bell Lions and guests. I have a happy dollar. What about those drums, huh?
Yeah.
Hey! And Sunday, what about those Titans beating the Sea Chickens? Yeah!
It could be kicked out of Bugger.
We all have a lion. Donna?
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I have a chuckle dollar because when I went to visit Sharon hours before she passed, her friend Pam was there, And Pam said that, well, first of all, she could tell my hand say I love you, and that she was fine, she didn't hurt, and then her friend Pam was there, they came to stay, and she said that hours earlier, she said, I want to go shopping.
Lions, Lori Lee.
Oh dear.
Hi, honey.
Acting President Leroy, good to see you today. Welcome to our visitors and our Lions that are here today. Well, I have a happy dollar for somebody. I want to thank everybody who came to the sock hop. You guys were awesome. You made it a success. I was panicking, worrying if we were going to make our budget, our expenses, and we had over 100 people. I've got a sign-up thing for hours so I can keep track. If you haven't turned your ticket money in or tickets, I'm here. Special thank you goes to, I'm sorry, I'm going to take this time, Ken and Marnie. They worked all night long. Every booth I gave them, they worked, even cashing, and they were everywhere. Vicki did our beautiful baskets. We had 9. They were fantastic. And the people that donated to it were awesome. Thank you, Pat, and Ellen, and all of you. Margie and Maureen worked also all night. They were there, helped decorating, and Donna at the tickets that night and decorating. And you too. Thank you, Shirley. I appreciate it. Cindy and Louie, great, and the other Greg also was here. Both are great. And Marilyn, Steve could anyway, they had a birthday. First time they missed it. But I have a staff dollar and a happy too, in a way. Sharon last year came to our sock hop. She had never, been to a dance, and she was very leery about coming. But I gave her 2 free tickets so that she would come. And she was so excited. She said it was the best time she'd ever had. King Brothers played, and they were great. So.
Okay. We have one over there. I got Pat Osborne over here, and then we're going to have to run it along.
Yeah.
Acting King Lion, fellow Lions, yes. For years you've heard me talk about that. Well, I'm very happy to say that they lost this weekend, and I was thrilled. And the second one is, I'm glad my son is retired and is enjoying his halfway normal life. All right. He goes to all the home games up at the University of Washington where his son is coaching. So he said it's really hard to sit up there and watch all the other country bands and watch ball. He still critiques, he doesn't just watch a game.
Slide down there by real quick.
President, or acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I was real sorry to hear about Sharon. She was a real joy around the truck wagon and did a lot for the humor for everybody. Second thing is, I went to 75th birthday party for all graduates of Everett High School from 1960. And I was fortunate enough to have time to have breakfast with one of my sons. And he said, he works in the landscaping business. He has all Hispanic employees and also works in the gardening center up in Arlington. And he said he invited me to a race. And I said, oh, that's something. And he said, yeah, we ran the Baja. And I said, what? And he said, yeah. Have you ever seen that on TV? He's got these dune buggies that run all through the Baja. Oh, yeah. This kid's 50 years old. I said, yeah, but my insurance was
All righty. President
We gotta go.
Acting Leroy.
We are just gonna go.
We're gonna go.
We're gonna go. Lion Larry Hanson will lead us in the invocation.
Literally a moment of silence in honor of Sharon. Our Lord and Father, we just come before you with faith and thanks for what you give to us, including our American president, the opportunity of being alive and service to our community. So we give those who are grieving this time to use as much common sense. Even if you use us in that way, it would also strengthen us to that purpose. So you guide us and lead us in all things. In Jesus' name. Amen.
And leading us in the flag salute will be Kathy Conn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And leading us in the song is going to be Phil Olson.
Country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
Y'all let me see. Thank you. Up next is introducing our guest. It's going to be Lion Taylor Jonathan. Doesn't work, Pat.
Doesn't work.
No.
Okay.
It's not battery. It turns the batteries and.
We want to welcome from the Kelso Lions, Larry Peterson. One Clary, I'm sorry, Clary, and any questions? Would you like to introduce your guest?
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions.
No, it's not.
One more member from South Park.
Hold on.
Rick Robertson. Welcome, Rick.
Sorry. Now we can go. Now you
Carol McDaniel, Tracy McDaniel, he's past president of the Pioneer Lions Club, past district governor of the Greater Area Milton Lions Club in Alabama, and Tracy was the current president of the club.
Lloyd Osborne.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce my brother and sister-in-law, Bill and Sue Osborne.
Okay. That'd be it. For Sunshine Report, we have, you can go ahead and give it to Dolly.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. As everyone heard, Sharon's sister did pass away Sunday. There is a service this Sunday at 2 p.m. the Steel Chapel at Longview Memorial Park, and there's a reception gathering following at the booth directly thereafter. Please wear yellow.
You can give it to Doug there. We're going to start with announcements. Doug Harvey.
Everyone, the Street of Screens is just a month away, and we're having a meeting today. Part of the last meeting that we at my office will start there, and we're going to transfer to Millennium where all the props are. We'll start working on every building to use to set everything up. So anybody who wants to join the committee, there's definitely things to do, a lot of fun to have. We'll be in my office at 5 o'clock today. Come on over, and if you miss us, we're already gone, we'll be down to the living facility. Thank you.
Go ahead and give to Cindy. Next up is, no? Okay. Zone meeting in. Cindy will be last. Cindy's going to be last? Okay. Okay. Craig Clark, you have an announcement? 2 announcements. And then you give it to Ron Stopper next.
President Leroy, Bell Lions guest. I mentioned a little bit ago that we were up at the Extreme Machines over there at the fairgrounds. Longview Park Department put that on. And I'd like to thank George Moore, Lloyd Osborne, Jan Searing, Lloyd and Tammy Williams for all the work they did. We had a pretty good day. 4 hours, we sold about 450 bottles of water, 500 hot dogs, about 150 bags of chips, and a box of red rope. We grossed, and we sold everything for $1, everything. We grossed $972.
Oh, wow.
And it was a community deal. We didn't really try to make anything out of it at all. Second announcement. There is a group in town. They're called Santa's Fire Department. Their sole purpose is to raise money for kids for Christmas. A week from this weekend, I think it's Friday night, they're having a dance over at the conference center for teenagers. And they would like volunteers to chaperone and also kind of direct and party. This is a money raiser for them.
John wants to check the cars in the parking lot.
If you'd be interested in working on this, please get a hold of me after. I have contact information from the two people running it. Thank you.
You can skip my announcement.
Okay, yes. Sure.
You can skip mine.
Okay.
Acting President Leroy, call Lions again, second notice on October 23rd. We have a site hearing event at Columbia Heights Elementary School to test about 300 kids for site and hearing. I'll have sign-ups next week.
Thank you.
October 23rd.
Is it? Yeah, you're next. You were next. Well, Cindy?
Oh, I might as well go ahead.
Did you want to announce those? Or is that Cindy? My Cindy. So I gotta play Cindy. Anyway, got an event, couple of events coming up. We have a zone meeting on the October 26th at the Sons of Norway Lodge over in West Kelso on Catlin Street, $15 a person. Also, the MD19 convention, October 12th to the 14th in Surrey, Canada. So, whoever is going to go to that, find out who you need to talk to and sign up. Did you want to say anything?
Nope.
Okay. Got a flyer here. The Early Bird Lions have a turkey bingo, which is going to be on Saturday, November 11th, here at the Longview Eagles, and that's 10 to 12:30 and 1:30 to 3 o'clock. That's on November 11th. And the Eagles is also having a Relay for Life dinner here Saturday at 6 o'clock. So anybody who is interested in that, join them and help support that part. We have got a letter from Community House at the end of the year when whatever foods or whatever we have left over, we give to the Longview Community House, and they sent us a letter to say thank you so much for your continued support at Community House on Broadway. We truly appreciate your dedication to the families we house. It is encouraging to know we have partners in the community. We especially wanted to offer our appreciation for the brand new socks and underwear you recently donated. Thank you, Kathy. For our kids, we are so glad that these kids are set up for success as they begin the new school year. Kathy, she led getting all those and everything, and you guys all got clean underwear and new socks for them, so hey, great. Going on from there.
You can do it from down there if you want.
We are going to move on to our program, which today is going to be our awards. forgot about the board meeting. Well, over that.
Okay, I have some August awards for us.
This year?
This year, yes. And we are going to start with our Rookie of the Month, and that would be Les Brigman for all of his work that he did with all the concessions that we had going on.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for all your work. Thank you. All right, and now we're moving on to the unsung Lion of the Month. We have a couple of them here. We have Ron Stoppler and Bill Pontius that were both involved in the golf tournament, helping out. If you both come forward, please.
Looking for volunteers next year, hold the line. Ron and I are going to retire.
Can't retire. You did such a good job with that whole watch. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Right here, Bill.
He's a handsome gentleman.
And then we have a couple of Lions for the month. We'd like to have Darlene London come up for Relay for Life and all the work you do for that. Thank you for all your hard work. You do an awesome job. Congratulations. Other Lion of the Month is Greg Burke for concessions. You did such a good job organizing all of this. Thank you so much.
Hour a week. Yep. It's an hour a week, isn't it?
Greg, what room are you gonna wallpaper now?
Thank you.
4 years.
Thank you. And then we have one that's left over.
Okay. Well, we actually have some time. Didn't look like we were going to, but now we do. So, this last weekend was the USA-Canada Forum, and I was going to ask if there was anybody that attended that would like to give us a little synopsis, tell us about their time spent at that. You got volunteered. Mark, you want to do that? Anybody up?
Mark.
Looking down to the
Sorry for the surprise.
That's quite all right. Sorry you couldn't join us. Maybe next year.
Yes.
I spoke before about USA-Canada forums. Actually, people were teasing Hal, but he's the one that talked me into going to my first one about a decade ago, maybe a little bit more than a decade ago. But it's totally unlike a Lions International convention where it's kind of gathering and they're voting and there's all these booths. USA-Canada Forum is pretty much set up for educational purposes. You have 3 days of, at least 2.5 days of pretty intense seminars and classes. Usually you're looking at the list of possibilities. There was typically about 12 at a time, I'm thinking, something like that. And you're trying to decide which of these I'm going to go to because it's really good information. Not just Lions information. I learned a lot about social media that I'm taking back to work, that I've learned about Twitter and Facebook and Instagram that I can use in my real world life as well. In addition to this, they have some of the most phenomenal motivational speakers you have ever heard. Jen Bricker, I think was her name, was our second speaker. The first day they had an astronaut speak and he was pretty good. Jen Bricker was born without legs. No legs. And she did not take that as a handicap. She took that as a positive in her life. And it was an amazing presentation. And of course the closing, well then we had the international president who was very good, a very talented speaker himself. The closing speaker in the last night was Willie Jolly, who's rated the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And listening to him, you can really tell why he was rated that way. It reminds me, I did take pictures of the screen because there are freebies for some of us that attended that. We need to turn that in. I'll do that as well. So there were several other Lions that attended, including a couple from Alabama. Anybody else have comments they would like to make about USA Canada?
For me, it's a great learning experience. One, you get immersed in lines throughout the country and in Canada, and you meet all these great international leaders. At every meal, you've had a past international or current international director, president, whatever, at your table to help get the conversations going, because you're sitting down with 8 people that you've never met before, and it's sometimes kind of hard to get the conversation going. So it was always nice to get that leadership and to you walk around with these international people and you can learn so much from them, and they're all very nice. They're very giving of the information they want to share. Anybody else?
President Leroy. I got to tell you, the item that I am most proud of at this USA Canada Forum, because I miscounted before, there was actually 9 Pioneer Lions, 1 associate member, and 2 former members. So last time in Portland, I felt really bad because I was the only one from our club, and I'm really happy about all the people that attended. The saddest thing I think I need to let you know is 3 days before the forum, Bob, our past president, Bob Corrigan's son, died at 30 years old. It was just really sad that he and his wife were there. And I think the statement that he made to me and others was this: I wouldn't want to be anyplace else than among Lions friends. I think you heard that today with about Sharon. It's international. It really is international. And I'm just so happy everybody attended.
Hope I can remember what it was I was going to say. Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, it was an excellent experience. And one of the things with the motivational speakers, all of them really kind of have a rags to riches type of story. Not necessarily financial, but just where they came from were meager means, I think, many of them. Or they had, again, like Jen Bricker was just amazing. She was a athlete. She became, without legs, a well-known athlete, which led her to be a motivational speaker. So that alone was just really something. But that's one of the things that I was impressed upon, was that these people came from, I guess the whole message of that is that you can set your mind to it, you can do anything. And I think they were encouraging us as Lions as well. Also, something that really came out to me with some of the sessions was the millennial age group, the younger people, and how they view things and how they don't want to sit in boring meetings, but they do like to help out. So for us, I think it's a message of we need to think about how we can draw younger members, but maybe they aren't going to be able to do it like we're used to doing it. We need to find that gap and fill it up.
They're not going to get 100%.
Marilyn had mentioned Jen Ricker's sports career. She was actually a world-recognized gymnast, despite not having legs. But when she was growing up, she played baseball, basketball, and volleyball. You think about that with no legs. And she said she wasn't the striker up at the net, but she was very close to the floor and very quick and very good at getting to the ball. When she played basketball, she was a tremendous defensive player because she was right there with the ball and she stole the ball a ton of times. It was really enjoyable listening to her, but she made a very distinct point that she was not disabled, she was differently able. Good information.
Kind of like the ditto on what everyone else said about Jennifer. She talked about all the activities she did, including roller skating. I'm sitting there trying to figure out, did she roller skate? Forgot about that. Yeah. And she does. Like, she never said, but I'm guessing she used her hands in the skates and even learned how to skate backwards. So, pretty cool lady there. She was really awesome. One thing I brought back, or we'll bring back to my club, my district, is the more younger members we want in, we have to think more like them and entertain and utilize technology and social media. The more you do that, I think the more younger members we'll see in the Lions. But we also have us. But we got to keep that bridge between the two. You know, there's a conventional meeting like today, but we got to think about how we also meet beyond just a meeting for lunch, because that's what they're all about. But I think some of us older generation also has some of those millennial characteristics too. We just don't want to admit it.
You've been gone a while, you talk funny again.
And as a closing, 2 years from now, we have a great opportunity because USA Canada will be in Spokane. It's been almost 15 years or 11 years, something like that, since it's been in the Northwest. It'll be twice in a 3-year time period.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, Maryland.
One thing, Steve and I weren't moderators, but there were several of us that were moderators and had the honor to introduce our leaders in the forums. And so I would love to recognize those who do that. That was not easy to do, and I think they enjoyed it.
It was a great experience. My class that I moderated started at 8:30 Saturday morning. And the guests that came in to get to speak was a family called the Wilkins. And the things that they had done, the family, they have the husband who's the president of the club, 23-member club, and the wife, who is also going to receive the President's Award for her help with youth. Their daughter, 16, has been a Leo for 7 years, or 5 years, I'm sorry, and president for almost 5 years. They got a 12-year-old girl who's already got 7 years being exposed to lions. What a family, the things they have done. Now, I didn't know where they came from until they got there. And I talked to them just before the meeting started, and they came from a little town called, or an area called Mount Si up in Washington. I couldn't believe it. And I was so inspired by what they had done. And that 7 years, they started that club, and the things they've done was just amazing to me. And I suggested that we have that group come to our fall convention if possible. I thought I'd let us too late to do that this year. But what they have done, and what they have done for that little community is just phenomenal.
Cindy.
The name of the session that I moderated is We Want You, We Need You. Presenter was from Minnesota, Anna, and we had a great time, and we hung out here and there throughout the forum. So it was really good to talk to her and her class, and she did talk a lot about the millennials and to bring new lions in. It was really a great experience, especially if you have a person who is saying a question and won't give you the mic back.
Thank you, darling.
You're done. Have a seat.
And Mighty Fish, he wasn't referring to me.
No, I wasn't.
There was a big guy that wanted to talk. The directions are for the moderators, you must hold the mic.
Yeah.
You can't hand it. Some people won't give it up. And this guy grabbed it from him.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just.
Like this?
Yeah. Thanks, Doug. Okay, thank you very much for those of you who spoke about the USA Canada Forum. 2 years, Spokane. Hey, that sounds cool. That's not too far away. And the time is really close too. Okay, a couple reminders for announcements. We have a board meeting this Thursday, Bog Pals, at 7 a.m. So, committee chairs and board members, make sure you're there. Also, Street Screams meeting tonight at Security. You guys know where that's at? If you don't, see Doug. And Saturday is the Eagles is having their Relay for Life dinner here on Saturday at 6 o'clock.